Your dog did something today, something deliberate, something directed, and you walked right past it without a second glance. According to animal behaviorists, it was a direct message aimed straight at you, and you missed it. Again, welcome to K9 Mind. Hit subscribe right now, because what you're about to learn is going to permanently rewire the way you see your dog. We're talking 16 behaviors, 16 secrets your dog has been sending your way for years. And we're kicking things off with the one that plays out every single day in households all over the world, and almost no one gets it right. 1. Why does your dog sit on your feet? Not beside you on the couch, not stretched out on the floor next to you, on your feet. Specifically, there is a deliberate reason for that exact location, and it has nothing to do with laziness or coincidence. Your feet carry the highest concentration of your personal scent anywhere on your entire body. To your dog's nose, a sensory instrument up to 100,000 times more powerful than yours, your feet function essentially like a scent broadcast tower. By planting themselves directly on top of them, your dog isn't simply hunting for warmth. They are wrapping themselves in the most potent, most concentrated version of you that exists anywhere in the room. But there's a second layer happening beneath that, one that goes even deeper. Physical contact with a trusted human being triggers an oxytocin release in a dog's brain. That's the bonding hormone, the same neurochemical that fires between a mother and her newborn child in the very first moments of life. You are, on a biochemical level, their safe place, their anchor. So when strangers walk into the room and your dog presses down even harder on your feet, understand what that is. That isn't clinginess. That is a declaration. That is your dog saying clearly and without ambiguity, this human is accounted for. Back off. Hold on to that. Because nearly every single behavior on this list connects back to that same foundation: trust, safety, and a language you never knew existed. 2. Why does your dog growl when you wake them up? This one has genuinely terrified people. It has caused dogs to be surrendered, rehomed, and written off as dangerous. And it is one of the most devastating and unfair misunderstandings in the entire history of the human-dog relationship. Here is what the neuroscience actually says. During deep sleep, the part of the brain responsible for recognizing familiar faces and for suppressing threat responses goes nearly completely offline. When a sleeping dog is touched suddenly and without warning, the brainstem fires before the conscious mind has even had a chance to wake up. That growl isn't aimed at you. Your dog doesn't even know it's you yet. They are reacting to a physical stimulus before their brain has had a single second to process who is doing it. Then watch what happens roughly 2 seconds later. The tail begins to move. The eyes soften. The dog nudges toward you. That is the moment the conscious brain catches up and realizes what just happened, that it was you, that they're safe, that everything is fine. Punishing this behavior is one of the most psychologically harmful things you can do to a dog. You are not teaching them anything useful. You are teaching them that sleeping near you is unsafe, that vulnerability near you is dangerous. Always use your voice first. Call their name softly. Give them a moment to surface from sleep before making physical contact. The growl disappears on its own every single time. No correction needed. 3. Why does your dog eat dirt? Go ahead and laugh, but this one is going to completely reframe how you think about your dog's diet. Geophagy, which is the deliberate and intentional consumption of soil, has been documented across a wide range of species: wolves, elephants, gorillas, and dozens more. This behavior is not random. Soil is a natural source of iron, zinc, magnesium, and calcium minerals that are frequently absent or present in insufficient quantities in commercial dog food. Your dog is not broken. Their body is sending a signal, and they are following it with extraordinary biochemical precision. Clay-rich soil in particular contains natural detoxifying compounds. It binds to gastrointestinal irritants the same way activated charcoal does in a clinical setting. Pregnant dogs have been documented chewing on walls because the calcium present in plaster is directly targeting a genuine physiological deficit that their body is experiencing. Before you correct this behavior, get blood work done. If the mineral panel comes back completely clean and within normal range, then yes, this conversation shifts into one about mental stimulation. A chronically understimulated dog will find occupation anywhere and everywhere available to it. But lead with nutrition. Assume the body first. We are 3 behaviors in, and it is already more layered than most people expect. Stay with us. 4. Why does your dog sneeze in the middle of playing? This one is genuinely beautiful once you understand what you're actually watching. That sneeze mid-wrestle, mid-chase, mid-tug-of-war, it is not a coincidence, and it is not a reflex triggered by dust. What you are witnessing is what ethologists call a meta-signal. It is a real-time communication overlay that reframes everything happening around it. Translated directly, it means everything I'm doing right now, the growling, the biting, the intensity, all of it, it's still play. We're still good. Nothing has crossed a line. Without this signal present, high arousal play has a genuine risk of escalating into actual conflict. The nervous system, under physical and emotional intensity, cannot always distinguish cleanly between play combat and real combat without a reset cue to anchor it back. The sneeze is that cue. It is a pressure valve. It is a peace signal delivered mid-action. Dogs who use this signal consistently and frequently are, according to behavioral research, typically more socially intelligent and significantly better at building and sustaining relationships with other animals and people alike. Try sneezing back at your dog. The next time it happens, just try it. The reaction you get in that moment will tell you more about the depth of your bond than almost anything else on this entire list. 5. Why will your dog only eat when you're in the room? The food has been sitting in the bowl for over an hour. Your dog is clearly hungry, you can see it in their eyes. But they will not touch that bowl. Not until you're there. This is pack protocol, and it runs ancient and deep. In wild canine social structures, eating alone is genuinely dangerous. You are exposed, you are distracted, you are completely vulnerable to attack while your head is down. Eating, in the wild, is a communal event, one governed by hierarchy, cooperation, and mutual protection. Your dog is not waiting for permission in some submissive, fearful sense. They are requesting a sentinel, someone to stand watch while they're in a vulnerable position, someone to cover them. Your presence in that room doesn't just give them permission to eat. It activates the neurological safety state that makes eating feel safe at all. Without it, the threat calculus doesn't compute. Here's the practical concern, though. A dog that has only ever eaten with a human present can develop genuine distress and outright food refusal during extended separations. If this describes your dog, start introducing brief departures during mealtimes now before this pattern becomes a full-blown crisis. Small steps, consistent exposure. Start today, and we haven't even gotten to the behaviors that the majority of owners completely misread as personality flaws. Number 9 is the one that changes everything. 6. Why does your dog suddenly sprint around the house like something catastrophic is happening? Nothing is wrong. In fact, from a biological standpoint, everything is working exactly as designed. The scientific term for this phenomenon is frenetic random activity period (FRAPS). They happen because dogs were biologically engineered over thousands of years of evolution to cover up to 30 miles a day. The domestic dog covers 30 feet of living room. That gap, that enormous, yawning gap between what the body was built for and what the environment actually provides, means energy accumulates inside the nervous system with absolutely nowhere to go. And when it hits a critical threshold, the motor system triggers a complete discharge. FRAPs are most predictable on low-activity evenings, directly after baths, and after prolonged periods of emotional tension in the household. During a FRAP, your dog's pupils dilate, their ears flatten, and they enter a kind of controlled chaos that typically lasts somewhere between 3 and 8 minutes, before they collapse and fall asleep almost immediately. This is a regulatory reset. It is a healthy function of a healthy nervous system doing exactly what it is supposed to do. Your only actual responsibility during a FRAP is to move the breakable things out of the way. 7. Why does your dog hide treats in your bed? You have found things under your pillow that you could not explain. Here is the full explanation. Your bed holds the highest concentration of your scent anywhere in the entire house. To your dog's olfactory system, it is the most heavily claimed, most thoroughly protected territory in the home. By dog logic pure, internally consistent, fully rational dog logic, it is the most secure possible location for storing anything of value. It is the vault. The hoarding instinct itself is ancient, predating domestication entirely. It exists because food availability in the wild is unpredictable, and competition for resources is real and relentless. This behavior persists in dogs that have never experienced a single hungry day in their entire lives because instinct does not wait for necessity. It does not require conditions. It fires regardless. The forgetting is also real, by the way. Spatial memory for cache locations in dogs is genuinely inconsistent. There is a legitimate chance that your dog has absolutely no idea that something fossilized is currently wedged between your mattress and the wall. Regular inspections. No punishment. The instinct operates below conscious decision-making entirely. 8. Why does your dog whimper when you cry? In 2018, researchers at the University of London published findings that confirmed something dog owners had always known, but that science had long struggled to prove in a controlled setting. Dogs respond to human emotional distress with what the study formally described as empathic concern, not learned behavioral association, but something functionally and meaningfully similar to compassion. When you cry, 3 things change simultaneously, and your dog detects all 3 of them the moment they begin. Your breathing pattern shifts, your heart rate changes, your body chemistry transforms. The hormonal signature of your tears and the chemistry of your skin alter in ways that your dog's nose reads immediately as a distress signal. They don't understand the source of your pain. They cannot know what caused it, but they feel the weight of it. They feel the texture of it. The whimper you hear is their own distress response, triggered directly and involuntarily by yours. Some dogs will lick your face. Some will bring you an object, because bringing resources is their instinctive response to a crisis. Others will simply press their body firmly against yours and stay completely, utterly still. Different dialects. Same sentence. I'm here. I feel it too. 9. Why does your dog lie down on top of your suitcase? We promised you this one. Here it is. Your dog has made one of the most precise and sophisticated associative connections available in their entire behavioral repertoire. Suitcase equals your disappearance. The moment that luggage appears anywhere in the house, your dog's entire strategy recalibrates instantly. Lying on top of the suitcase is not theatrical. It is not melodrama. It is logical. If the suitcase cannot be packed, the departure cannot happen. Given the tools available to a dog, it is genuinely elegant problem solving. The secondary behavior pressing their body against your clothing, against your shoes, against whatever you're folding and placing inside is olfactory marking happening in both directions simultaneously. They're sent onto your belongings. You're sent deeper into their coat. It is a biochemical form of preparation for absence. A chemical version of holding on. Dogs that escalate to hiding your keys or urinating on your luggage are not acting out of spite. They are not being vindictive. They are experiencing genuine, physiological panic. That behavior deserves compassion and a real, structured desensitization protocol, not punishment. 10. Why does your dog lick the air? Dogs possess an organ that humans simply do not have, the vomeronasal organ, located in the roof of the mouth. This structure detects chemical compounds that the standard nasal passage misses entirely. Air licking is the mechanism by which your dog directs scent molecules toward this organ for a layer of sensory analysis that goes far deeper than ordinary smell. Think of it as switching from standard definition to high-definition sensory processing. That is the normal version. 1 or 2 air licks near something novel or interesting that is pure sensory curiosity, fascinating, worth a smile. What genuinely matters: persistent, rhythmic air licking throughout the day with no obvious olfactory trigger present. That is a documented symptom of nausea, acid reflux, and dental pain. The licking motion provides minor, temporary relief from oral discomfort. It is also a recognized displacement behavior directly associated with chronic anxiety. 1 air lick, curiosity. 10 air licks in a single hour, make the appointment. 11. Why does your dog sit with their back turned toward you? This is the one that almost everyone gets completely, fundamentally backwards. In canine body language, the back is the most exposed, most vulnerable surface of the body. Presenting it to another individual is the highest possible expression of trust in the entire social vocabulary of the species. It means you are certain, absolutely, unconditionally certain that the individual behind you will not harm you. Certain enough to leave your blind side completely undefended. When your dog turns their back and settles against you, they are making the most profound statement available to them. This is not dismissal. This is not indifference. This is not your dog being rude or checked out. This is the canine equivalent of saying, I trust you completely, with everything. You are safe. There's a second layer operating simultaneously. Facing outward while their back is pressed against you means your dog is performing active protective surveillance on your behalf. They are watching the room, monitoring the environment, so that you don't have to. The unspoken agreement, you cover my back, I'll cover your front. A dog that never turns their back to you is a dog that is still watching you. The trust hasn't fully arrived yet. When it does, when they finally turn and settle against you, you will know exactly what it means. 12. Why does your dog steal food off the table? Here is the uncomfortable truth that most owners are not prepared to hear. From your dog's perspective, they did absolutely nothing wrong. Canine moral reasoning around food does not include the concept of human property ownership. In pack-feeding dynamics, food belongs to whoever is actively defending it at that moment. An unguarded plate, no growling, no hovering, no active claim being asserted is available food. Every behavioral rule your dog operates by says so, clearly, without exception. The guilt you see after the fact? That is not remorse. It is fear of your reaction. Your dog has learned through experience that certain sequences of events cause you to become frightening and unpredictable. They are not connecting their action to your anger. They are simply afraid of you right now. In this moment, for reasons they cannot fully process. Punishing a dog after the fact accomplishes exactly one thing. It makes your dog afraid of you for reasons they cannot understand. Real-time redirection and environmental management are the only tools that actually produce behavioral change. Everything else is just confusion. 13. Why does your dog howl when you leave them alone? The howl is not sadness. The howl is an emergency broadcast. In wild canids, the howl is a long-range acoustic locator, an alarm system engineered by evolution to carry over miles of open terrain, specifically designed to trigger a reunion response from separated pack members. Your dog cannot distinguish on a neurological level between you being at work for 8 hours and you being gone forever. Their pack vanished. They are broadcasting their location and waiting desperately, urgently waiting for someone to respond and come back. Research using in-home audio monitoring has shown that the majority of separation howling peaks within the first 15 to 20 minutes of an owner's departure, then gradually subsides. This reveals two critical things. The worst of your neighbor's suffering is front-loaded, and this behavior is highly treatable with the right approach. Gradual desensitization, systematically building a dog's tolerance for solitude through careful, incremental exposure, resolves this pattern in the vast majority of cases. Start with 2 minutes. Return before anxiety reaches its peak. Build the duration slowly and consistently over time. Punishment makes it worse every single time, without exception. 14. Why does your dog shake their toys with such violent intensity? That sharp lateral snap, the rapid, violent side-to-side whip of the neck, is the terminal kill sequence used by canines on small prey animals in the wild. A single, well-executed cervical shake is capable of rupturing the spinal cord of a rat or a rabbit. This motor pattern is hardwired into the canine nervous system at a level that completely bypasses conscious decision-making. It is ancient. It is automatic. The squeak activates it even more deeply. The sound mimics the distress vocalization of injured prey, which signals to your dog's nervous system that the behavior is working, that the sequence is progressing correctly. The toss and recapture that follows, hurling the toy across the room and then launching after, it simulates the escape and pursuit phase of a full hunt sequence in every single breed across the entire spectrum. Chihuahuas. Cavaliers. Breeds engineered over centuries specifically to sit on laps and look decorative. The instinct does not care about lifestyle or breeding purpose. It is present regardless. Let them shake the toy. Let them go. It is one of the most psychologically complete and genuinely satisfying forms of enrichment available to a domestic dog. 15. Why does your dog run away from the camera? Your camera lens is, to your dog, a fixed, perfectly circular, completely unblinking eye aimed directly at them, approaching from close range without ever looking away. In canine social signaling, sustained and unbroken direct eye contact is not warmth. It is not affection. It is a dominance display. It is a threat posture. The eye that does not blink, does not break away, and advances toward you without hesitation is doing everything that canine behavioral code identifies as confrontational. It is doing everything wrong. Your lens is that eye. It stares without stopping. It doesn't blink. It doesn't look away. And when the flash fires, it layers a sudden, blinding stimulus directly on top of an interaction that was already signaling challenge and aggression according to every social rule your dog knows. Your dog is not being difficult. They are not camera shy in some quirky, endearing way. They are responding precisely as their behavioral programming requires them to respond to a perceived challenge signal. Shoot from the side. Kill the flash. Use high-value treats over time to build a completely new association with the camera. Your dog's comfort and sense of safety matter infinitely more than a perfectly centered, perfectly composed photograph. 16. Why does your dog lick you? We saved this one for last. On purpose. Allo-grooming, mutual grooming between social animals, is one of the primary mechanisms through which mammalian bonds are formed, deepened, and maintained across a lifetime. It begins in the very first hours of life. The mother licks the puppy to stimulate breathing, to promote circulation, to signal with unmistakable clarity that the world is safe and that they are loved. That association licking equals the safest, most loved, most completely protected moment of existence is formed before the puppy's eyes have even opened for the first time. And it never goes away. It doesn't fade. It doesn't diminish. When your dog licks you, they are reaching back to that foundational memory and drawing on it fully. They are grooming a member of their social group, building a shared scent profile, and actively marking you as belonging to the same unit, the same pack as themselves. The specific location matters. Face licking after a separation is decontamination, removing the unfamiliar scents you accumulated while away and replacing them with something known, something safe, something theirs. Persistent, focused licking of a specific area on your body is active medical assessment. Dogs have been formally documented, detecting early-stage cancers and oncoming diabetic episodes through what initially appeared to be nothing more than affectionate licking. And that puppy behavior, licking the mother's muzzle to request food, and to request comfort that persists into full adulthood. When your dog licks your face, they are, on a very real and deeply meaningful level, treating you as the most important figure in their entire world. The one they came from, the one they return to. That rough, warm tongue is the oldest language shared between your two species. A ritual of recognition that has been running continuously, unbroken, for 15,000 years. Now you speak it. If this changed the way you see your dog, if even one of these behaviors landed differently than you expected, share this with one person whose dog deserves to be understood the way yours does. Subscribe to K9 Mind and drop a comment below telling us which behavior on this list your dog does the most. We read every single one,